Hey you gamers out there, welcome to the Game Review Show. I'm Rian Ahmad Zaki Edwards, your host. And about me, I'm an Australian Indonesian 16-year-old, and to describe myself, I'm a half student, half gamer. I love to play all kinds of games, but first-person shooters are my specialty. I also appreciate scenery games, including nature's wildlife to city buildings. I like to play sports too, like basketball and even soccer. In my podcast, I review and recommend games to play. I buy the games to try and play so you don't have to. And then I will tell you to either buy the game or not. And I'll definitely tell you about the game's requirements too. This episode of the Game Review Show is brought to you by HyperX Memory. To see my previous podcasts, make sure to open my website, GameReviewShow.com. There, I talk about a lot of games you should check out. Today, I will review the legendary game of Grand Theft Auto 5. Which of you gamers have played this game? I bet at least 50% of you guys have played this game, or rather have heard of this game. Well, for you guys that don't know GTA 5, it's an action-adventure game developed by Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. It's an open-world freedom, storytelling, mission-based gameplay, and online gameplay set within the fictional state of San Andreas, based on Southern California. The single-player story follows three protagonists: retired bank robber Michael DeSanta, street gangster Franklin Clinton, and drug dealer and arms smuggler Trevor Phillips, and their efforts to commit heist while under pressure from a corrupt government agency and powerful crime figures. About Michael, he's a professional and experienced bank robber. He has a family of 4 with his wife, son, and daughter. Franklin is a street gangster. He is in a gang called The Families. They always use green colored shirts, pants, jeans, jackets, you name it. Trevor owns a company called Trevor Phillips Enterprises. They operate with drug dealing and weapon smuggling in a place called Blaine County. The open world design lets players freely roam San Andreas open countryside and the fictional city of Los Santos. It's based on Los Angeles. The game is played from either a third-person or first-person perspective, and its world is navigated on foot or by vehicle. Players control the 3 lead protagonists throughout single player and switch among them, both during and outside missions. The story is centered on the heist sequences, and many missions involve shooting and driving gameplay. A wanted system governs the aggression of law enforcement response to players who commit crimes. Grand Theft Auto Online, the game's online multiplayer mode, it lets up to 30 players, and it engages in a variety of different cooperative and competitive game modes. Players use melee attacks, firearms, and explosives to fight their enemies. You also use fast vehicles to navigate the world. When players die, they will respawn at hospital when their health depletes. If a player commits crimes, law enforcement agencies may respond as indicated by a wanted meter in the head-up display. Stars displayed on the meter indicate the current wanted level. If there is more stars, then more police will come after you. I played the entire game and finished all the stories. Overall, the stories were very interesting and unique. It shows the story of 3 criminals on how they live their life, do heist to rob a bank or a casino. I recommend everyone to buy GTA 5 right now on the store for $44.99 in Steam or Epic Games, or just buy the game on holidays. There will always be a discount to buy the game. The platforms you can play on is very vast, but you can play GTA 5 in PlayStation 3, 4, and 5. Also, you can play in computers and also Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and finally Xbox 360. Now, this game goes all the way back to the first sequel on the GTA series called Grand Theft Auto 1997. It was available in Microsoft Windows and MS-DOS. So believe it or not, GTA 5 is actually the 15th sequel in the GTA sequel. The tutorial shows Michael and Trevor in North Yankton robbing a bank. They were successful until they failed to beat their way out, which was the train. They tried to improvise by going another way, but they were chased by police, and Michael got shot by a sniper and got caught by the police. But on the other hand, Trevor shot a lot of police and then found a civilian to threaten the police with. Then he ran away without Michael and he went invisible. After that, everyone thought Michael died, but actually he faked his death so the police would not take him to jail. Then Michael started a family of his own. To sum up of how the three guys met was firstly how Franklin and Michael met. Franklin works with a car dealer called Simeon, and his job was to steal cars for Simeon to sell. Then one day, he stole Michael's son's car, which he just bought off Simeon. I think that was a pretty bad idea. Then Franklin was asked to steal the car and he successfully did it, but then he was on the way to the dealer's place. Before you know it, Michael was in the back of the car pointing a gun on Franklin's head. Then Franklin just explained how he was just working for a guy called Simeon. And after that, you are asked to crash into the car dealer glass wall. And well, that's how Franklin and Michael met. Couple of weeks later, Michael and his family were in the dining room talking, and suddenly, after 9 years of Trevor being invisible, Trevor walked in his house and said, "I heard about you on TV." The story was that the Trevor thought Michael was dead, and Trevor did not know, so he was pretty mad about that. But after they all met together, they did heists, robbed banks, robbed casinos, and many more. Well, that's all I have for you gamers today. In my opinion, overall, GTA 5 is a great game. It's 7 years old, but it's still the one game you never get bored of. Find more resources to get more information about all the games I have played in GameReviewShow.com. Make sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss out on the next episode where I review a new game. There is also a recommendation bar where you guys can recommend games to me to play the games and review for the next future episodes. Since we always end with a controversial question, today's question will be, which protagonists in GTA 5 is your guys' favorites and why? Thanks for listening to my episode of Game Review Show. See you next time, gamers. Peace out.